There's been some breaking news in the NBA. All kinds of stuff floating around the internet. We don't know exactly what's happening. Let's take it to Cash Patel. He has a quick 1:40 press conference, I think, where he kind of describes exactly what might be going on.
To announce a historic arrest across a wide-sweeping criminal enterprise that envelops both the NBA and La Casa Nostra. The men and women up here standing with me represent a small portion of the leadership team that brought profound justice in an era that needed it more than any. I'll just highlight some of the details in the case and the FBI work, and then you'll hear from the others. But as you now know, individuals such as Chauncey Billips, Damon Jones, and Terry Rozier were taken into custody today, former, current NBA players and coaches. What you don't know is that this is an illegal gambling operation and sports rigging operation that spanned the course of years. The FBI led a coordinated takedown across 11 states to arrest over 30 individuals today responsible for this case, which is very much ongoing. Not only did we crack into the fraud that these perpetrators committed on the grand stage of the NBA, but we also entered and executed a system of justice against La Casa Nostra to include the Bonanno, Gambino, Genovese, and Lucchesi crime families. And you'll hear more about those details today. The charges and the arrests that were taken down across this country range from wire fraud, money laundering, extortion, robbery, illegal gambling. This FBI will leave no room for any perpetrator of crime across this country. You hear a lot about our work of defending the homeland and crushing violent crime. Well, this work is also representative of a colossal portion of the FBI's mandate to keep America safe and to keep our entertainment industry fair and secure.
Yeah, there you have it. You hear FBI Director Cash Patel kind of describing what has gone on with the different arrests and the allegations. And let's not make this guy wait any longer. Mr. Shams Charania, please join us right now. Shams, how's it going, buddy? What is, I guess, what did we just hear there? Are we just scratching the surface? And what have you heard over the last hour, I guess?
So this all started Jontay Porter. There was a group of other co-conspirators. That was a while ago, I believe last year. And ever since then, there's been an ongoing investigation. So today, 3 notable arrests were made. The first one, Chauncey Billups, the Portland Trailblazers head coach. He was just coaching in an NBA game last night in Portland against the Minnesota Timberwolves. He was arrested at around 6 a.m. in Portland, Oregon. Terry Rozier, Miami Heat guard. He was also arrested this morning at 6 a.m. in Orlando. And then Damon Jones also played in the NBA, was an assistant coach in the NBA. He was arrested this morning at 6 a.m. Rozier was involved with charges around sports betting, prop bets, giving information to conspirators that were gambling on games, hundreds of thousands of dollars, allegedly. Chauncey Billups was involved in allegedly illegal poker games and cheating and rigging on those poker games as part of a mob-tied affiliated situation. And Damon Jones is the one guy that was charged that had crossover with both, not only the sports gambling, sports betting, providing information, insider information, as Cash Patel and the FBI essentially have called it, to co-conspirators. And then he was also involved, allegedly, with the illegal poker games, cheating and rigging on those poker games with mafia ties. And so, obviously, this is seismic news around the NBA. Never have we seen an acting head coach be involved in a federal investigation and arrest like this. An active NBA player. We saw Jontay Porter was arrested and charged with gambling, sports betting, prop betting, and his involvement in that. But another active player now, Terry Rozier, involved in a similar case. He's obviously a much bigger name player than Jontay Porter. Jontay Porter was on a 2-way contract. Terry Rozier has been on multiple, $40, $50, $90 million deals. Right now he's making $26 million. So some bookkeeping here. Chauncey Billups, I'm told, will be arraigned in Portland at 1 p.m. local time. Terry Rozier will be arraigned in Orlando at 2:30 p.m. So Chauncey Billups, 1 p.m. hour in Portland, 2:30 p.m. hour for Terry Rozier in Orlando. And so this is a case of, in Terry Rozier situation, it's insider trading is what they're alleging, as they have with Jontay Porter previously. This is obviously colossal news. The one guy, AJ, that we've spoken about on this show, it's come out, Malik Beasley, he's been a part of a federal investigation. He's part of an ongoing NBA investigation. He was not arrested today. His lawyer told me he has not been cooperating with federal authorities on Chauncey Billips, on Terry Rozier, meaning he is not involved in this group, whatever this investigation led to here, at least initially, 30 plus arrests. I'm told Malik Beasley is not involved in this situation. And so just some more bookkeeping there. But we'll see how much more comes of this, right? Like this started as a 3, 4, 5 person group. It's now morphed into over 40. It has mob affiliation, mafia affiliation. And will there be more? Right now, there's over 30 today.
It feels like you would assume there might be more. I mean, listen to Kash Patel in his press conference, but it's two different forms of illegal activity, right? I guess there's the point shaving, possibly allegedly whatever you're doing to manipulate a game, what players doing, but then also the illegal poker games where you're putting. They said there's X-ray machines, there's hidden cameras, there's things where they can read their hole cards that are face down. So who'd you say is the crossover there? And are these how connected are these things?
Damon Jones is the one guy that's charged in both cases. Damon Jones involved allegedly in the illegal sports, the illegal sports gambling, providing information. Essentially, the way that Kash Patel, the FBI, have framed it is insider trading, insider information being given out. There was one alleged situation where Damon Jones let co-conspirators and others here gambling involved in an improper way that LeBron James was going to be sitting in a game against Milwaukee, and that then obviously gamblers and bettors can then go bet on Milwaukee in that instance. So that's just one alleged situation that has been brought up in these indictments. These indictments are dozens and dozens of pages long, still going through them. And there are mentions of Chauncey Billups involved in at least one similar situation, but his biggest charge was the illegal poker, essentially cheating, rigging the poker games.
In a bunch of different states, right?
Shams,
wasn't it in multiple different states where these illegal poker games were happening, where they had devices and things, which I don't, maybe I'm naive, but if there's an illegal poker game, that's one thing, you're running that, but then there's more charges if you're cheating at an illegal poker game. I feel like that's almost like a moral situation.
Double jeopardy.
Yeah. I mean, again, we don't know the lengths of the evidence that is at hand here. We know what's in the documents. Was Chauncey Billups knowingly involved with the mafia, with the mob? It's been brought to me by some people here, is it possible to even unknowingly be involved in a improper, illegal poker game, essentially, where you're basically rigging a poker game? How can you unknowingly do that? Again, that's all for discussion. But the FBI, what their main charge with Chauncey Billups is the rigging of poker games. And so I believe I read it where these took place were New York, Manhattan area. But as Kash Patel said, there were, I want to say 11 states, he said, that all of this overall activity from sports betting to the illegal poker games, all of this ranged 11 states.
Boston Connor's got something for you, Shams.
Yeah, Shams, you said Malik Beasley still being investigated by the NBA and the FBI. Terry Rozier was investigated by the NBA last year, and the NBA has already said they had no idea.
They've been, yeah. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you.
No, you're good.
I do want to make it clear here. Terry Rozier was cleared by the NBA. That's why he was playing in games. He was involved in games. He's been through an NBA investigation already. They took his phone, from my understanding, as part of that. He was cleared from that. His attorney even came out with that statement today. But that doesn't mean from a federal perspective he was cleared. So clearly, even though he wasn't mentioned as a formal target in that investigation, at least initially, he was charged here today. Clearly, he was arrested. He has an arrangement today at 2:30 in Orlando. But he was cleared by the NBA. That's why he was playing.
So with that being said, with the Malik Beasley situation, when they're still going into his entire situation and the FBI is going into their entire investigation? Like, what is the difference between those two? Just the FBI's resources and their ability to connect everything versus the NBA just looking at one specific situation?
The powers are large. I mean, you can talk to conspirators, you can talk to people that you feel like might be involved. They all have the ability, from a federal perspective, from a league perspective. There's an ability to go, even take evidence, right? Take a phone, take other surveillance material, laptops, etc. So that's all under the jurisdiction of definitely the federal realm, but even the league is able to potentially do that. They did that with Terry Rozier, and they cleared him. Malik Beasley's case, he was not arrested today. He was not taken into custody today as part of this federal investigation situation. Again, I'm not saying he will never be. That's not what I'm saying here. What I'm saying is he was not part of the 30-plus defendants in this sports, gaming, betting, illegal poker schemes, arrests ring today. And so the league's investigation has been ongoing. I reported a while ago that he wasn't mentioned as a target of the federal investigation, but the league's investigation has been ongoing into Malik Beasley, but he was not involved in this, and his attorney Steve Haney even told me he's not cooperating with the federal investigators about these two in particular, or three in particular, as far as Damon Jones, Chauncey Billups, and Terry Rozier.
Shams, did you have any idea of this before this morning? It seems like it's unbelievable how quiet this was until, bam, all of a sudden guys are arrested.
I'd gotten wind last night that there was going to be a press conference, and that Kash Patel, I'd been hearing over the last 24 hours, was actually a big name in all of this, and someone that was taking a leading role in this investigation process. Obviously, this is, for Terry Rozier, he's been investigated for over 2 years now. This is something that's been going on since 2023. And so, that's local authorities, Eastern District of New York, but now Kash Patel, FBI involvement. I got wind of it last night. Obviously, the names and the specific reporting this morning.
So what's I guess, can you give us a little glimpse what your life looks like right now? I'm sure you're juggling a few things, talking to some sources all over the place. What's it been like for you?
Yeah, I mean, it's now it's all public. So everything that I've been working on since last night is now public information, and so now it's figuring out what's next, right? Portland Trailblazers. What is next with them? With
who coaches the team?
Miami Heat.
Yeah.
What's next with Terry Rozier as a player? He's under contract for $26 million. $26 million for Terry Rozier on the Heat salary cap. And what's the league's stance? How is the league addressing this? So there are multiple.
Are they going to have a presser? Is Silver going to have a presser or anything, Sean? So, are they going to? I assume they're going to have to address it publicly. Are they going to have make it a big thing?
To my knowledge, as of last night, there was not really this. I mean, there was no knowledge by Chauncey Billups, by Terry Rozier, by the league that these arrests were coming specifically. I didn't even have it fully confirmed until this morning. But now you're able to get a look at the indictments. They're going to be able to get a look at the press conference, talk to local authorities, talk to the federal authorities, and we're still waiting on the NBA, Portland, Miami. For statements and seeing how they're going to be handling it with their own players and coaches if you're Portland and Miami, but then as a league with the NBA.
All right, Shams, I know you got plenty to get to. You got your phone, going off the hook. So I appreciate you coming on, Shams, and we will look out for anything new. Breaking.
I have a statement here right now. The NBA said they are reviewing the federal indictments announced today. Terry Rozier and Chauncey Billups are being placed on immediate leave from their teams. And so we are going to be tweeting this out right now, but Chauncey Billups and Miami's Terry Rozier
got your sound on the
have been placed on immediate leave.
Great work, Sean.
Sure you spell it right.
By the NBA.
Okay.
Wow.
So that's indefinite, I guess, until they get to the bottom, until they snoop around for a little bit, right, Shams?
Indictments today.
Yeah. Yes.
Wow.
Or arraignments.
All right, Shams. Well, hey, we appreciate you. Let us know if you get any more breaking news straight from the sources. Let us know. We appreciate your time,
Thank you.
Shams.
I'll just read this whole statement. We're in the process of reviewing the federal indictments announced today. Terry Rozier and Chauncey Billups are being placed on immediate leave from their teams, and we will continue to cooperate with the relevant authorities. We take these allegations with the utmost seriousness, and the integrity of our game remains our top priority. That's the NBA statement right now, delivered here.
Okay, Sham. So yeah, it
Great
sounds
work,
like
Sham.
we're just
Yeah, good work,
Got a
Sean.
baby, Sean.
investigative journalist, Shams. You're killing it, buddy. Really appreciate your time. We'll reach out to you again sometime in the near future, I am sure. But ladies and gentlemen, Shams Charania.
Yeah, Sean.
So what did we learn there? What did we learn?
It sounds like there's like very, very, very serious jail
a lot
time.
going on.
Like that's what it sounds like. If they're getting arraigned today at 1 o'clock and 2:30, and clearly,
So will we see him? Will that be on camera? Will we see him in front of the judge?
I don't know.
Depends on.
I would imagine it'll get
courtroom.
out there. I mean, I don't know. Like,
I mean, Chauncey Billips, the head coach of the team right now.
Crazy.
Rozier's currently playing, like Sham said, making $26 million this
Yeah.
year.
I
Well,
mean, and
This is a big
coordinated.
deal. This is a really big deal.
especially for the NBA to have already cleared him once.
Yeah.
You know, like, and now, like, so you wonder, are they going to make an example of him? How much more evidence came in? I mean, it's crazy. It really is
It's
crazy.
the one thing, like the NBA needs, I'm sure they want people to know, like these are separate situations, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
rigging in a legal poker game, that's one thing, but trying to like manipulate a game by how you play or what you may do, like schematically, that's another huge situation. Like that's the integrity of the game, right?
Yeah, and them going to court, like this stuff will come out. Like, they'll go on trial. It sounds like, at least, and who knows what does happen in the end. But you know, with the NBA players being a big part of it, but then also the mob kind of mafia type.
You think it
families.
started like they were investigating the mob for like trying to get in
there's a
on
good
stuff,
chance.
and then they found out
There's a
the
good
players all this,
Yeah.
and then the players also the poker games, and this is like going on for 3-4 years. I heard.
I mean, like you've seen it in movies and stuff like that, where they're investigating for one thing, and then another person like shows up, and they're like, "Oh, why is that,
I recognize that name
why
on
is
the
that
list."
person here?
Yeah.
yeah. So I mean, obviously, it's all speculation until we. Find
Also,
out
the victims, though, I'm sure the victims could have reached out to the FBI, right? They said one victim was down $1.7 million
definitely.
from these poker.
Could just be
games.
said,
You're
yeah.
thinking like, man, every time I go, these guys seem to be reading my mind.
Yeah, like 1 o'clock today and 2:30. I'm very interested to see what all comes out from what Sham said. Those are the times for Chauncey Billups and Terry Rozier, but it was clearly coordinated. I mean, if they all got arrested at 6 a.m.
exactly.
this morning, like this is very,
How
very
shocked
much
were
like,
they?
yeah, exactly. We got to get everybody. And we got to kind of make it public because this is an example. You kind of have to set an example with how serious it is. And, you know, who knows what happens. We'll find out later.
And that's why you assume that the hammer is going to drop, because anytime there's like a coordinated thing like this where, you know, multiple people,
a lot
like
of
they
resources.
have a bunch of evidence. You know, they're like, you're not just going and knocking someone's door down at 6 a.m. and arresting 3 separate people unless you have your ducks in a row and you know, like, oh, okay, we got these guys.
Dead to rights.
Let's see. I know Shams mentioned somebody's lawyer on there. One
Malik Beasley.
Malik
Beasley's lawyer, but let's see, like
That's
when
separate.
somebody else's lawyer comes out and stands in front of the camera and lets us know exactly.
I saw. I think it was Rozier's lawyer, Pablo Torre, reached out to them, got a statement from them, and said that they're going to fight this. So yeah, the lawyers are getting out there.
Well, you know, I think, like we said, this is just the beginning of all of this stuff. It's been a wild morning just hearing all this happen. I can't imagine. I don't know how they kept it quiet. I don't know how they
crazy.
were able to coordinate this. And like Shams said, so last night Shams had a pretty good idea something was coming, but he didn't know what. He didn't know who.
No.
No.